name is Arpit, and I'm a part of the product marketing team at Shipsy. And I'll be kind of a host today for you. And I have my colleague Pulkit with me.
Hello
So
everyone.
yeah, so Pulkit is part of pre-sales team, and Pulkit is going to take us through the entire demo and giving us the entire length and breadth of this particular topic, vendor management and trip execution, and how Shipsy is largely solving this very problem in the industry. So before we start, whatever call questions you might be having in between the masterclass, for those questions, we'll be taking up all of them in the end, and Pulkit and I will try to answer all of those questions. Meanwhile, we'll just start with some context building, and further we'll go with the demo of the entire solution, and also like what problems and what key metrics Shipsy will be able to solve in this particular space. So starting here with the today's topic for the masterclass is cost efficiency meets customer delight, and we are going to talk about typically vendor management and trip execution flow. So when it comes to vendor management, what I mean is for any company there are like multiple vendors, multiple 3PLs which the company deals with, and managing all those vendors on a digitized platform with all their contracts and everything being digitized, and in a manner that allocation of these vendors to the orders can be done in a most effective manner for the most cost efficient operation is something a challenge which a lot of companies face. So here the Shipsy solutions do come in very much handy, and I'll move to the next slide where the major use cases and the major challenges which we solve is first use case is the visibility. So on the visibility front, the challenges which companies generally face is like all the processes being run are over phone calls or over emails and all over WhatsApp. In short, all the processes are purely manual. So that's where like Shipsy solutions come very much in handy, that we have portals like digital portals for end customers, for all the transporters, for business customers to raise indents, to allocate vehicles and track their shipment status on real-time basis. This gives you 100% visibility of the entire end-to-end process, and also gives very much enhanced customer experience for your in-house customers, like your end customers, your transporters. Next is the optimization, the second use case, and the challenges in optimization largely revolves around the manual allocation of orders for full truckloads, and instead of part truckloads. And second is the manual indenting and the vehicle request which flows around it. And third is the vehicle capacity utilization, which generally becomes quite inefficient because in the long haul movements, the trips, if you go with the PTL movements, you incur a lot of cost as against if you have a FTL movement and a very optimized route to deliver to each and every destination, each and every location. So the Shipsy solution which comes in handy here is the intelligent and automated allocation through Shipsy's optimization engine. So Pulkit will be talking more about optimization engine and how allocation is done on Shipsy's portal. And this in turn maximizes the overall orders as FTL and improves the vehicle utilization by a significant number. So impact of this solution would be like your FTL trips will be maximized, and the reduction in the overall freight cost goes as low as 15%. Next is the control tower. So the challenge here which companies face is that there are no reports to verify the delays in the transporters. There is no real-time visibility. There's no tracking, which even if the vehicle gets into some problems, like if there are any accidents or anything of those things, there is no real-time visibility around it, and the subsequent delays in it happens, and which the company has no control over, and the bottom line accordingly gets affected. So here, like what Shipsy can help you is with the real-time performance reports, real-time dashboards, or real-time very high accuracy GPS tracking, along with SIM tracking and other tracking solutions as well. And we also provide you detailed analytics and a detailed control tower dashboard, which will give you a greater in-depth knowledge and synopsis of what is happening on them. And finally, the impact would be like you'll have improved decision making and planning. You will have accurate vehicle tracking in the real time across all your vendors. So moving on, maybe you can have a poll question here, and before moving further. Yeah. So the question is, which metrics is the most critical for improving your company's supply chain operations? I would like you to answer all this. Precision, reduction in freight cost, reduction in delivery time. Vehicle capacity utilization. The freight cost is a clear winner as of now. Yes. Okay. Okay. So out of 29 responses, as now the reduction in freight cost is one of the key metrics which companies are looking in their supply chain operations. And then followed by vehicle capacity utilization, followed by reduction in delivery times, and lastly, order tracking precision. Okay, so share the results as well. Okay, so here comes Shipsy's solution. So this is these are the R numbers basically. So like we with our solution, you will get a very much high superior use of your time, your cost, and that's where like you'll be able to increase your vehicle capacity utilization by 31%. So we have delivered this with a lot of our clients in India, across the world, in other geographies as well. Second would be 20% reduction in the average delivery time. Third would be 15% reduction in the freight cost that we have achieved. And finally, the 100% tracking and visibility, which I was talking about, the GPS tracking and stuff. Great. So I'll hand it over to Pulkit now. So Pulkit will be taking you through the entire demo and will also be building more context around what all we do in the vendor management portal and what all and how we execute our trips from your SAP system or other ERP systems to the final delivery of the shipments. Over to you, Pulkit.
Thank you, Arpit, for a quick brief on the vendor management. Can you change the slide? Can we move to the next slide? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Arpit. Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this masterclass on the vendor management. Right. Today, we will be exploring how Shipsy's AI-powered platform can revolutionize both vendor and the intent management. Right. So, today's discussion of topic of discussion is on the vendor management and how a system can automate the intent management. Right. But before we dive into the vendor management, let us first discuss the relevance of the vendor management in manufacturing or in the automotive or other industries, right? So in the logistics sectors, market vehicles, you have heard this name many times, that there are two sort of vehicles: dedicated vehicles, market vehicles. So what is exactly market vehicles is, right? So essentially, market vehicles is refers to an vehicle contracted for a specific transportation need in a supply chain, right? So to give you more context on this, imagine a scenario wherein a manufacturing industry established manufacturing industry, right? They might not own their all trucks, right? They need, instead of that, they rely on vendors who provide the vehicles to meet their specific needs. So that is what the market vehicles refers here, right? Essentially, this approach is actually quite common across the industries, right? And as per our industry experience, right, we understand that many companies are essentially relying on vendor or the market vehicles for up to 40% of their logistic needs, right? Now, since they are relying, a majority of the companies are relying on the market vehicles, right? So now here the question arises that why are so many industries relying on the market vehicles? What is the benefit that they are getting out of it, right? So here on my screen you can see some key benefits we have mentioned, which is cost effective, scalability, flexibility, and shorter lead time. So when we spoke about the cost effectivity, so obviously owning a fleet is always an expensive option, right, for any uh, industry. Either it can be manufacturing, either it can be a automotive industry, because it comes with an upfront cost, such as vehicle cost, such as maintenance cost, right? The driver cost, there is recurring cost is also associated with it. The driver cost, the cleaner cost. So industries don't want it to go for so much upfront cost. They wanted to eliminate the upfront cost, and however, they can partner with the vendors to eliminate these upfront cost and the recurring cost. So this is how, this is very cost effective method as compared to the other methodologies, right? Then we have the moving on with the second benefit, that is scalability. So most of the companies, they require more vehicles in order to meet the demand, right? So in such scenario, market vehicles provide a scalable solution. So organization can easily procure additional vehicles from the vendor, right? So there are pool of vendors which are available in the market. They just need to, share the indent. Whosoever is available, they can provide the vehicle, and this is how they can scale up their business as well, right? Many of times it happen during the time of festival, if we talk about, or maybe during the time of, if we talk about an e-commerce industries, right? During the time of any sale and all, uh, demand get increased significantly, and to meet the demand they need a vehicle, they need a logistic needs to be get catered, right? In that case, instead of going for own vehicle, uh, providing more amount, right? Instead of that, what they do, they go for a market vehicles, because there are pool of vendors which are already available in the market. They can get a reliable and the desired options from the market. So this is how, this is a very scalable solution, right? Then moving on to the third, that is the flexibility. Again, procuring vehicles from the pool of vendors is again one of the most flexible option, right? Whenever there is a need, they can have a vehicle from the market, right? Now this lead me to the last benefit, that is the shorter lead time. Since it is very much easily available, so it is very we can, the lead time of procuring this vehicle is very shorter, right? So many organizations find out that renting a vehicle is much faster than waiting for a custom build. So let me give you a scenario, right? In most of the time it happens in the chemical industries, right? Wherein they wanted to send any specific chemical from one manufacturing unit to the another manufacturing unit. But for that, instead of creating custom build vehicle, right, investing too much upfront cost, they essentially go for a vendor, on the we go for the market vehicles, wherein they will be get the desired vehicle in a very shorter period of time, right? So this is more time sensitive project, when they have a very more time sensitive project wherein they can go for the vendor vehicles. So this is a high level view from the benefits of the market vehicle, right? Now this market vehicles, now the questions again arise that how the industries can procure this market vehicle, right? So there are multiple ways through which they can, procure the vehicles from the market. One of the, the traditional way that people usually go is the offline mechanism, wherein they don't have any platform, right? They are doing their operations manually. That time they call to the vendor and vendor send the vehicle. So that's an offline mechanism, right? Now industry is moving rapidly, the logistic industry is moving very rapidly, and with AI coming into the picture, everything is going to be digitalized, right? And many of the organization has already been digitalized their processes, right? So when we say digitalize the process, that means two things will come into the picture, a system will come into the picture, right? And in procurement, we industry support two sort of models. The first one is the contracted vehicle, the second one is the non-contracted vehicles. So when we say contracted vehicles, these all are the vehicles which get contracted, these are the market vehicles only, but get contracted with any of the manufacturing firm for a longer period of time, maybe for a 1 year or for 2 years, right? Now the question arises here is how to procure the vehicle, right? How to procure the contracted vehicle. So in order to procure that, there is an option of doing a reverse auction, right? This is one of the procurement option, wherein the vendors, wherein the manufacturing or the other logistic industries send a RFP to the vendors, right? That RFP essentially constitute the lane details, the origin and destination details, that for a specific lane how much amount that which they can offer, right? There is a live auction that will happen. There are certain organizations that who does this kind of auctions, right? The auction will happen, and wherein all the vendors who are available in the pool, they essentially, bid for that. Whosoever wins will get a contract from that manufacturing unit, and they will get a contract for 1 year or 2 years, right? So this is from the contracted perspective. Then we have a non-contracted vehicles, right? In non-contracted vehicles, where we the manufacturing unit doesn't have any contract with the vendors, but they want to procure the vehicle. So for that we have a spot auction as a functionality, right? Wherein they can on the spot, on the spontaneously, they have received the demand. To meet that demand, they need a vehicle to fulfill their logistic needs, right? For that we have a spot auction. Through that spot auction, they will be able to procure the vehicle in a very shorter lead time. Right now that we have understand the importance of the market vehicle, let me give you a quick walkthrough on the Shipsy's AI platform, which will brings a very comprehensive, vendor management and the intent management. So this is a high level process flow which I will be walk you through in the demonstration also. Before going deep down into demonstration, I would like to give you a brief summary or a glimpse of the process, that how the process actually look like. Right. So imagine a situation wherein a manufacturing unit is there. Right, they are manufacturing certain goods, and they're they are essentially sending it to their retailers. Right. So consider a retailer is a business customer here, who will be sending a order to the manufacturing units. Right. Being a manufacturing unit, managing a huge business, managing a huge orders, they definitely be having an ERP solution, right, which will be acting as a order management here, right, in the logistics fulfillment. So whatever the order that business customer will raise, that will come to the SAP system. Right. So the customer will raise a PO, which we called as a purchase order. On the purchase order will come to the ERP system. ERP system, being a very comprehensive solution, will check the inventory details first of all. Right, whether the inventory is available or not. If the inventory is available, then they will create a sales order across that. Once the sales order is created, then that sales order is created on the basis of the dispatch goods. Right. This is the primary condition in the ERP, that whatever the sales order that generate, that will be generated based on the goods which are ready to dispatch. Right. So dispatch goods detail will get generated as of in the form of a sales order. Now the order has been generated in SAP. Now that order need to be pushed to the Shipsy system. Right. So we offer a dynamic system. We offer multiple options for you to get the details from your ERP. The first and the foremost method that we have is the API integration. Right. We support a real time based integration. We already have API inbuilt in our system. Right, we can expose our API to any of the ERP system. Since we are majorly working with the SAP, hence we have shown SAP here, but we also integrate with other system as well, other order management and other ERP platform as well. Right. So we will fetch the details. So this is one of the method through API. We also have a offline mechanism as well. Right, if you want us to create and upload an Excel file in the in the ship system, we can do that as well. Right. So once let's consider that we have established a API integration between Shipsy system, with between Shipsy order management and ERP. Through an API, order has been pushed to the Shipsy system. Right. Now the order is in Shipsy system, where the order gets generates for you. So since Shipsy will be managing the entire life cycle of your order in order to fulfill that order. Right, from order from the order generation till the order delivery. So this is the order generation state wherein the order gets generated. Right. Once the order gets generated, then our system comes with the AI based routing engine. Right, AI based routing engine, that means what? It will help to automate your deliveries. Right. Now if I say automate, if I say optimize, that means system have certain constraints. You can set certain objectives in the system, and based out of that objective, a real time route plan can be prepared from the platform. Now the route plan can be created based on the latitude and longitude of the destination, based on the customer delivery window, and considering the SLA will not get adherence. Right, so these all are the factors that system will consider. Now as a typical TMS solution for vendor management, they also provide you an option of share of business. Right, they also provide you of option of creating an indent. So we do also provide you the option of creating a share of business, but our method of creating share of business is very dynamic. We Our platform comes with a dynamic allocation engine, wherein on the back end our system will keep on check that which vendor is available, which vendor is performing well. Right, we will be managing the vendor scorecard as well. Basis of that, who is the vendor, like, again, based on your business need, what is the need for your business, to which vendor you wanted to allocate on a runtime manner, to the cheapest one, to the fastest one, or to the one who has a maximum percentage of delivery ratio. So we will consider that as a parameter, and our system will keep on run in the backend. As soon as the order length, we will set a one threshold limit. Right, basis of that, system will automatically create an indent. Right, an indent will be raised and that will be assigned to the vendors. Now the question arises here is that how the vendors can access this indent, whether they will get any notification on mobile, or whether they will get any call from the call center. No. So we will, there are two type of vendor: the vendors which have a lots of vehicle. There are big vendors that they're already using a system. So our platform is very dynamic, we can integrate with any third party tool, right? If vendor is using any platform today, then we can integrate with it. Whenever the indent get raised, we will manifest that indent to their portal. That is one of the method. Second type of vendors, they don't have any portal, they are working offline today, right? If you call them, they will send the vehicle. So for them, we have a vendor portal. We can extend our vendor portal, and through that vendor portal they can accept or reject the vehicle request. Right now they will log into the extended vendor portal. In the demo I will show you how the portal look like. Right, they will log into the vendor portal and they will check the vehicle request, and they will either accept or reject the request. Consider that they have accepted the request. Right, once they accept the request, there are certain details which they need to provide. Since it's a market vehicle, we are not aware of, okay, we are not aware of the we are not aware of the rider, who is the rider, which vehicle is supposed to come, right, and what is the rider mobile number. So these are the mandatory field which they provide you as a acknowledgement of the indent. Right, once indent has been acknowledged with the specific details, then rider will reach to the warehouse. Right, once they reach to the warehouse with the vehicle, the loading will happen. So we do understand that loading and unloading is again a very tedious job, and in order to eliminate and to fasten the process, we have a mobile application for your warehouse users as well. Right, they just need to scan the consignments and they can do the loading as fast as they can. Right, so they will do the loading. With our route optimization, we have already created a sequence, right, which is very optimized, considering that the to reduce the freight cost and to reduce your fuel surcharges. Right, considering all these factors, we have already optimized the route for your vendors, so they will follow the journey and they will reach to the retailers, and they will do the delivery. Right, now as a part of delivery, uh, they will also capture the EPODs. Right, now here EPODs can be in any form. Either it can be an image, either it can be a signature, either it can be a OTP based. So our platform is in our platform we have all sort of PODs available. Again, based on your business need, what sort of PODs you wanted to enable, disable, we can do that. Right, now during the on ground process, we do understand that rider faces many challenges. Right, we all desired that the all the delivery should be get successful, but that was not the general scenario. Right, rider faced many challenges, that some of the product got damaged during the shipment or during the transit. Rider or retailer refused to take the consignment. So we do understand the ground reality, and hence we have created a very dynamic platform wherein the rider can have a rider application, and through which they will be able to perform different actions. If it's a successful delivery, they can take the EPODs and can mark it as a successful delivery. If there is any discrepancy, right, with the shipment, then they can mark this consignment as a failed delivery or the partial delivery. So once the delivery is done, will therein the order get completed. So this is how we manage the entire life cycle of the order. Right, we also have a very comprehensive analytical tool which will help you to provide a very granular level information of your business. Right, it is completely based on the KPIs, what sort of KPI you wanted us to configure. We can do that, and we can provide you the n number of reports in the form of a dashboards. Okay, so I quickly jump into the product demo and show you that how the process will actually look like. Arpit, I'll share my screen now. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Michael.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the dashboard screen of our application, right? Our application is hosted on AWS, and this is a SaaS-based application which can be used on any on any web channel, right? Uh, so this is the dashboard screen. Whenever you log into the application, you will be able to see this kind of consignment dashboard. Right, this is the we also say that this is a bird eye view for your operational managers. Right, because this comes with a different sort of buckets: all buckets, unplanned bucket, planned bucket. So this will give you a very clear understanding of the business, that how many consignments has been received so far from the ERP system or from any other source, right? How many of the orders has been planned so far. When I say plant, that means system has created a trip out of that, right? Or how many consignments are in transit, how many consignments has been delivered successfully, how many consignments are in the failed bucket. Again, so this is completely based on the order status. As soon as we start the journey, the orders will keep on moving from one bucket to the another bucket based on the status, right? And a real time visibility will be provided to your managers, so that they will be able to access which all are the orders that are under which status, right? So this is the all bucket where you will be able to see all the orders. Then we have the unplanned bucket. So these are the consignments which has not been assigned to any trip so far, right? Before I go deep down into this, I would like to brief you on the setup section. Our application is essentially divided into three major parts, right? The first one is the master data setup, wherein we will be setting up the comprehensive master for you. There are multiple things in the master, but for today's discussion, I will be highlighting only few points related to the vendors, so that you will get a visibility that what sort of masters we are creating in the system. Then we have the order execution part, wherein I will be showing you that the route optimization, how the route optimizer will create a optimized route, and how it can be allocated to your vendors, right? So coming to the setup section, in the setup we have a transport section, right, wherein we have a specific section for the vendors, wherein you can create your own vendors in this section, right? So I have multiple vendors that has been created. So we support a UI based functionality. It's a very basic UI, very user friendly UI, wherein you just need to provide the vendor name, right? What are sort of vehicles are available with them, you need to provide that. Here we are also taking the email ID and the password for the vendors. Why? Because we extend this kind of vendor portal to your partners, right? To this vendor portal will be provided to those vendors who don't have any platform from where they can access the indent, right? So they will be getting this kind of portal. Again, this is a bird eye view for them, wherein they will be able to see all the trips. They will be able to see what are the pending trips. They will be able to see that what trips they have assigned so far, right? How many trips has been started and how many trips has been completed. So we will be providing this kind of portal to your vendors, right? Here in the vendor section, we are also going to define the vehicle makes and how many vehicle makes they have. That level of information will be provided. See here, you can see that this particular vendor have multiple vehicle makes and with number of vehicles which are available, right? So this is a comprehensive vendor management that we support. Along with that, we also have a career partner section, right, wherein we will be providing the allocation rules, right? So in traditional TMS platform, you have seen that that we will define the share of business for the vendor, wherein you will be fixing a percentage for the vendor, that 20% for L1 vendor, 30% for L2 vendor, and 50% for L3 vendor. Here in our system, we are providing you a allocation engine, which is very dynamic in nature, right? You can define your own rule at any point of time. See, this is the allocation engine, which is essentially divided into four major categories. The business segment is the first, wherein we will help you to define the business segment. On what basis you want, on what criteria, I can say, you want system to allocate this vehicle, allocate a vehicle to a vendor, right? Either on the basis of the weight, either on the basis of the destination location, or either on the basis of any order type, right? So again, based on the business segment, you can define that. Once that is defined, then we have a career account segment, wherein we will be setting up the carrier partners here, right? Who are the carrier partners? So for today's instance, I will be using Gen Transport as one of the carrier partner, and show you that how he will be able to allocate the vehicles, right? So there are multiple carrier partners as per the business need we can configure, and here you can define the courier partners. Then we have the filter segment. So this is one of the first starting segment, wherein we will be defining the parameters, right? On what parameters you want the system to assign the vehicle to the vendor, either on the basis of cost, or the basis on the promised stat, or on the percentage of the first attempt within the promised stat. Again, this is standard parameters that we have, but this can be customized as per the business need, and this can be defined here. Once the filter segment has been defined, then we will provide you a sorting segment. So this is the last segment, wherein the system will be going to take a decision on the basis of the set parameters, right? So here are the parameters again. So let's say system has found out that out of 5 vendors, 3 vendors uh, are the best among them. Now, among these three, you also wanted to decide which one is the cheapest, or which one is the highest, fastest, or which one has the highest number of orders successfully, right? So we will be managing the data of all the vendors. As I mentioned earlier, that we have the vendor performance in our system, right? Vendor scorecard. So that will get refreshed, and basis of that, system will figure out the best out of all the vendors and allocate to that vendor. So these are the two things which I wanted to discuss with you as a part of our master system. Coming back to our consignment dashboard, this is where the order execution part begins. I'll quickly move to the unplanned bucket and quickly show you that how the optimization work. So I'll quickly select some of the consignments for which we wanted to do the route optimization, right? So we support a single click route optimization. So you just need to select the consignments for which you wanted to do. You can select all as well, or you can select a specific consignment as well. So I'll create a route for the selected one. So see, basis on the constraint tag, since I have considered weight as a constraint here, system has created one specific trip. So see, a trip has been created in the system, right? And a indent has been pushed to the vendor which is associated with it, right? So here in the trip section, we support a trip section wherein you will be able to see that system has created one vehicle, right? And the indent has been pushed to the vendor. Now, coming to the vendor portal, since this is my Gen Transport vendor portal, you can see that on a runtime manner, they have received one order, right? This is the trip. See, this is the trip 049. The trip has been created, and system has asked vendor to either assign or reject this order, right? If they reject the order, then allocation engine will again do the allocation and allocate it to the second best courier partner, second best vendor, right? Now here we have an option to assign. They will assign the vehicle and they will provide the vehicle details. So let's say I provide the vehicle detail here, and I enter the mobile number of the rider. So I'm putting it as a random number here, and I'll provide the rider name, right? So this is how they will accept the indent. Now the indent has been accepted, right? How your manager will get to know that on the portal. So once they refresh, you can see that this particular trip has been assigned to this particular vehicle, and this is the rider name, right? Now I'll quickly, now once the rider has been assigned, now the rider will move to the warehouse and they will perform the gate in functionality, right? So we do understand that in the warehouse there are multiple things, there are multiple vehicle will do gate in and gate out, and in order to track that vehicles, we have a mobile application, right? I'll quickly show the mobile application here. Okay, so our mobile application is listed on App Store by the name of Shipsy Hub Ops, right? This application we will be extending to your warehouse users, right? And by with a specific login credentials, they will be able to access this application, right? This application is very comprehensive in nature, wherein they can perform n number of functionality. They can assign, they can get in, they can assign a dog. So let me get in a vehicle here. Okay, just give me a second. I'll quickly log in here. Okay, I'll select the specific hub here first, right? I've selected the specific hub. Now here in the inbound, we have a gate in functionality. wherein we will be getting the vehicle, right? So we'll provide the vehicle detail here. So this is the vehicle detail which we have provided. Now we will get in this vehicle. The vehicle has been gotten. Once the vehicle has been gotten, we will assign a dock to the vehicle so that the rider will also understand at which dock he need to go and wherein the loading will happen. Right. So we'll assign a dock. So a dock has been assigned here. Then we will go for the loading, right? So the so the warehouse users will perform the loading, right? In the FLM loading, they will be able to see the vehicle details here. So see, this is the vehicle detail. They will select the vehicle, and while selecting, system will automatically populate the consignments or the orders that are associated with this specific vehicle, right? So these five are the specific orders which are associated with it. So system will ask the warehouse users to scan this consignments, right? In order to scan that, our platform comes with the label option as well. We will also generate a label. Let me quickly generate the label here. Okay. So this is the standard format of the label that we have, but this can be customized as per the business need, right? So system will allow loading only once the scanning will be performed from the mobile app, right? So I'll start the loading here. Okay. So platform comes with the QR code scanner, right? Here, the best part of our application, you need not to have any external device to it. Our mobile camera is more than sufficient in order to scan the consignments. It will take only fraction of seconds to scan the consignment. See, it also comes with a validation. I'll show you. If I scan this consignment again, then system will give you this kind of error. So it comes with a validation as well, right? Now I quickly show you the other. Okay, and the last one, all the five consignments has been loaded successfully. Then we'll freeze the trip and we'll complete the scanning. Right? Platform also have the validation. If we miss to load any of the consignment, then system will not allow the warehouse users to freeze the trip as well. Right? Now, once the loading is done, then we will do the outbound activity. That is, we will do the our dock out scan so that our dock will be available for the other vehicles. Oh, I think I've selected the wrong. Okay, this is the vehicle and dock out scan. So we'll dock out scan and we will gate out the vehicle. Now this is the warehouse activity we have completed. Right now vehicle is ready. Vehicle the gate out has been done. Now vehicle is ready to move. Now here the interesting part comes here is that that our platform comes with a tracking option. Right. So as soon as the trip gets started, so there are two sort of functionality. The first one is system will show you that this kind of trip has been created by the platform, right? This is the planned trip. Now if you wanted to actually see that what the actually see the rider's journey, right? Then in the actual tab you will be able to see. In the actual tab you will be able to see that this is the journey that has been assigned to the rider, right? See, this is the vehicle and this is the journey that has been assigned. As soon as riders start the journey, the rider location will be seen on this particular design defined path, right? Now, why I'm telling you that it is a defined path, because this path has been defined by the system. If your rider takes any wrong turn, if it takes any deviation and all, the system comes with a validation that will help you to create an alert, that will generate an alert in the system, and that will be assigned to your manager so that they will be able to check whether the rider are moving on the right track or not. Now the traditional way of working is sim based tracking, right? But we are bringing a new age to this technology by providing a mobile app to the riders, right? This is the mobile app which we will be extending to the riders who will be using the Shipsy system, right? So They will be logging with the specific details. Okay, I think I have. Okay, so this is the rider application which is published on the already published on Play Store and App Store by the name of Shipsy Field Ops. So the market riders can download this application, and with a specific username and password, they can use this application. Since this is a market vehicle, it's very dynamic. Which rider will come, which vehicle will come. So we will not be able to maintain their database, and hence the specific username and the password would be their mobile number, which is provided by the vendor during the assignment, right? So I will be logging with the specific details. So the mobile number will act as a password as well as the username. I will log. Oh, let me check. Okay. So this is the dashboard screen for the rider, right? Rider can use this application in any of the language. Application is loading. Yeah. So this is the dashboard screen for the rider. Our system comes with the see automatically the name of the rider has been highlighted here, right? It comes with a different language. You can select the specific language. The rider can select the specific language and can use this application in the desired language as well, right? Now there's a trip option. They need to click on the trip option, right? And they will be able to see the trip that has been assigned to them, right? So as a part of the journey, they will follow the steps. So here this is the first order that has been assigned to them, right? Here we will be also providing the customer SLAs, that at what time this need to be delivered. This is where they will be able to see the order type. This is where they will be able to see whether this is a delivery order or the pickup task, right? Whether this is a COD order or not, they will be able to see. If it's a VIP customer, here we will be showing that tag as well. This is the address of the customer, but definitely they won't be aware of this address, right? So what they will do traditionally, what they do, they will copy this and they will paste it on Google Map. We don't want rider to jump from one app to another app. Instead of that, we have provided them a navigation panel. So they just need to click on the navigate panel, and system will redirect to the uh, to the Google Map, wherein they will follow the direction and they will reach to the specific location. Once they reach to the customer's location, right, then we also provide that the rider's customer's phone number. In this customer phone number, this can be masked or non-masked, again up to based on the business need. Now let's say they are facing any challenge in order to find the retailer store. So what they will do, they can directly call to the customer. Once they click on this call, system will redirect to the uh, dial panel, right? Now once they reach, they will found two scenarios. Either they can undeliver this because customer has refused to take, so they can undeliver this, or there's a scenario where they can deliver. While delivering, they can take the payment that need to be collected. They will take the cash, right? Then they will take the e-signature. So let's say this is the e-signature they have captured, and then we have a image as a proof of delivery. So they will capture as an image, right? And once we save, this is how the delivery process get completed. So this is the overall flow which we have decided to show you today. So handing over to Arpit.
Hey, hi, Pulkit. Thanks a lot, Pulkit, for this detailed and insightful demo. So, folks, you have given us some questions also, so we'll be addressing those queries. But before just diving into those queries, I'll quickly want to showcase you one case study. Just let me share my screen. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's take a closer look at how the entire solution piece, which Pulkit just gave a demo of, has impacted a real world scenario with one of the leading companies in India, Fortune 500 automotive manufacturer named Tata Motor. So we all must have heard the name of it. So Tata Motor has like couple of major challenges before they came to us and with our engagement before our engagement with them. So one was their logistics cost was going very high as a percentage of their revenue, approximately 3 to 5%, and with the amount of volume they have, 3 to 5% translates to a very huge number. Second thing, they had a lot of manual planning and all over the Excel sheets. So their team was doing it on Excel sheets, which led to a lot of errors and which led to a lot of inefficiencies and inaccuracies in the entire system. Third was they had more PTL shipments as compared to their FTL shipments, because as and when they used to get the orders, they used to ship those orders to their suppliers through their suppliers to their service centers and to the end customers. And through this PTL, like their costs were doubling down than what it could have if they would have a FTL shipment when planning proper planning. Next is that like they had phone call based indenting where the team was like calling the different vendors about how many vehicles they need on any particular day, which was again leading to a lot of inefficiencies and inaccuracies. So now how Shipsy's system came in handy. So as Pulkit mentioned about the allocation engine and also Shipsy's optimizer engine and allocation engine actually helped in bundling these shipments and improving the overall PTL shipments to the FTL ones. So this improved the allocation overall. It also improved like the indent management flow, because through our portal we can directly do the indent management and auto placements to the different vendors was happening. And also like from the tracking perspective, this gave a complete visibility and tracking for each and every shipment, each and every vehicle across the 3PLs to the Tata Motors team. So that's why like we were able to reduce overall freight cost by 10% in the specific case of Tata Motors, and we were able to increase overall FTL movements by 20%, and the overall improved decision making and planning we were able to very much achieve. And like as of now, the Tata Motor has roughly saved around 10 CR as of now from our solution in last 1 year. Yeah, so that's how Shipsy solutions can help like companies on these fronts. So that is all we have in our demo today. We will be able to answer your questions. Before that, we have a poll question. Okay. Pulkit, we have a couple of questions in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. I have answered some of them, and I'm answering the other ones.
Maybe Pulkit, we can answer it on the call only for
Okay,
the.
got it.
Okay, so let's begin with questions. So first questions we have from Nitesh. That is, do you have any solution to optimize the delivery man assignment for hyperlocal on-demand delivery service? Pulkit, you want to take this up?
Yeah, I'm just seeing that question where it is.
It is by Nitesh Goel. Just go to the webinar chat.
Webinar chat. Okay. Do you have a solution to optimize the delivery man assignment for hyperlocal? Yes, we do have the option wherein we can, do the optimization for the man assignments as well. So that is, we call this as a territory optimization, wherein we will be defining the territory, and basis of the territory we will be doing the man planning. So either it can be a on demand solution or it can be a planned delivery. We can manage that through our application.
Got it.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Can we use the truck capacity utilization with a different unit of measures, box pieces, volume, weight, and pallet, for instance? Would the observer consider different variables in building? Yes. So all these, the measure of units which you have mentioned, that will act as a optimizer constraints for us, right? So our platform comes with the 200 plus optimizer constraints, which we will be taking into the consideration in order to do the route planning. So while doing the route planning, system will take all these parameter into the consideration, and basis of that, the plan will be created by the system. Okay, moving on to the next question. How efficient is predefined route logic as Indian democracy so much heavy vehicle route definitions? So again, the see route logic is entirely different for different industries, right? Different industries have a different logics to define. Some are following only point to point movement. Some are following a milk run. Some are having a very complex network, right? So we have a solution ready. We have a very robust system where we can define the very complex structure as well based on the heavy vehicles, based on the demographic situations. So many of times when you wanted to have a real time uh, real time visibility, so for that we have a map integration as well, wherein we will be getting the on ground visibility of the vehicles, and basis of that the route planning will be performed. Okay, moving on to the next. As I already have a mobile app for delivery man. Yeah, so we can integrate with the delivery app that you already have. So we also support a SDK based solution, wherein instead of providing you the complete app, we can provide a SDK which can be implemented with your system. And whenever the rider is performing their deliveries, they can use that particular SDK in order to do that. And our system comes with a GPS tracker, right? So our application already comes with a GPS through which within every fraction of 2 seconds the location of the rider will get refreshed automatically, and we will get that details, and we will be providing you on the control tower as well. Yeah, how you track the vehicles. So again, we have a GPS enabled in our mobile application. So as soon as the rider uses our application, we will be able to track the solution. There is certain other solution to it. Let's say they are not using the GPS, right? But for GPS unit, no, no, in vehicle it is not required the GPS. Our mobile application is more than sufficient. We will be fetching the latitude, longitude, or the current location of the rider from our mobile app itself, right? There is other solution also that we have. If let's say some riders don't want to use mobile app, then for that we have a sim based tracking option also available with us. uh, I think, Arpit, we have covered all the questions.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is not necessary the rider have smartphone, correct? If they don't have mobile phone or smartphone, then for that we have a different solution altogether, right? We have a sim based tracking, wherein if they have a very basic phone also, we will take a consent from the rider during the gate out itself, and once they provide the consent, then we will track the rider on a set frequency, right? For the sim based tracking, there are frequency which are set: 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, again based on your business need, we can track that.
Um,
So this is an operational thing. If they switch off the phone, then definitely what we can do in that case, that whenever they comes to live, then only we'll be able to track. Again, this is something which is not in our hand. If the riders change on the way, right, then we have a alert mechanism as I discussed in the demo also. A real time alert will get generated if any deviation they have taken from the predefined path, and that alert will get generated to the operational manager, and they can directly discuss with the vendor and can sort this out.
okay. So Guys, I think we have already passed time. Vijay, you have raised hand. Okay, we'll take Vijay's question maybe. Okay, Vijay, you can ask your question.
Hi, Arpit. Normally in a tracking, we see that it has been shipped out, it will be reaching the destination, a tentative schedule is given. But can
Hmm.
we see the exact tracking? Say, for example, the shipment has been shipped out of Delhi and it has to reach Bombay and it's coming by road. Say, the real time, probably at your end, the real time tracking shows it's in Rajasthan, say, somewhere near Kota. So,
Hmm.
will as a customer, will we be? Is it visible to us, or is it only like it will be showing you as and when it reaches the destination?
No, no. So it will be the real-time tracking will be visible to you on your portal. So whenever the your vehicle crosses any particular landmark or anything, it will be very much visible on the portal as well in real time.
Uh, just like the GPS one.
Just like the GPS one. So even if you use SIM tracking, it's just the accuracy thing between GPS and SIM tracking. GPS is definitely much more accurate as compared to SIM tracking. But the
Okay.
tracking will be visible in the SIM case, SIM-based tracking as well.
And second thing, one more question about unauthorized vehicles, like which are not part of the which are being taken on a spot basis in the market from the market. What is the credibility of these vehicles? Like, how do you check, or is there a check process done for these vehicles?
Uh, okay, okay, yeah. Pulkit, maybe you want to take this?
Vijay, I'm so sorry. Can you please repeat the question?
Say you have a set of your own transporters who are part of the fleet management, right?
Okay, okay,
When you are taking vehicles from the spot market, like who are
okay.
not part of the fleet management, then how?
Right.
What is the credibility of these vehicles? Who owns the owners and the responsibility for all these things?
So again, so we, since this is very functional thing, wherein we will be providing you the pool of the transporters, right? So whenever you're doing the spot auction, that time we will be providing you the pool of transporter. Let's say we have 10 or 15 pool that are available, which are, the vendors which have a very good credibility in the market. So we'll create a pool of them, and we will ask you to create a spot auction for them.
Okay. Can we add, our own our known transporter in the spot vendors list?
Yes, definitely you can.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Um, so people, I think we have already passed our scheduled time. So in the interest of time, I think we will be closing this discussion and demo now. For like any more questions, we are always available offline. You can always contact me or Pulkit. We'll drop our email IDs here. Just a minute, I'll just quickly share my screen. So you can please scan this QR code in case you want to book a demo with us, or you can also write your email. Our email ID is Pulkit and mine. If you have any specific queries, anything you want to ask, we'll be happy to answer. Okay. Thanks everyone.
Thank you everyone for joining this evening. Have a great evening.
Yeah.